Well, as I was considering what we were going to do today for our 37th Divine Love reading, the fairies came into my mind. It's like they were on my shoulders saying, "Hey, it's our turn. We love our humans and we have messages also. Don't ignore us." So today the fairies are here. And as you know, during these shorter readings, this is all about you opening your heart to receive. The fairies know that you are going through a lot of stuff right now, and they want you to be comforted. This card popped out first. And so, hey, Dream Home. So, as you know, I answer your questions and do readings for you in my long form videos, but today is about receiving. So, open your heart, get ready. The fairies are here to serve you today. We're going to be drawing 5 cards, each of them with the purpose of helping you understand how dearly you are loved. Card number 1, and it is the 8 of Wands. So as we look at this fairy who is riding the dragon, so the dragon is a very powerful mythological figure, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. No, I know that's Superman. But in fairy lore, the dragon is deeply respected as a powerful ally that can be dangerous. Look at all those claws. But the reality is, the message of the 8 of Wands is that something is moving very quickly. So the fairies want you to know, when it comes to maybe you're feeling lonely or you're wishing for something to happen, that they are right there with you, that they are facilitating things behind the scenes, and they want you to, how could I say? They don't want you to give up. They want you to realize that what it is that you're desiring, what it is that you're wishing for so desperately is in the works. You know how when you prepare a cake and you mix all the ingredients together and then you get ready to bake it. Is it ready to eat before you bake it? Of course not. You need to put it into the oven and then you need to wait. So, fairies clearly today are saying something's in the oven, it's being prepared for you. Don't give up. That's card number 1. And you guys know on these little tiny readings, they are all about working on receptivity. Can you simply sit back and receive this message of love for you? Your fairies do adore you and they want to support you. So, card number 2, the 2 of Pentacles. Look at this fairy. And right now, here in Tennessee, where I live, harvest time is happening, and the late fall fruits and nuts and everything is ready for consumption. With this 2 of Pentacles, the fairy is her arms are filled, right? This message goes exactly along with our first one. The fairies can see from their side of things that there is great abundance coming your way. What the fairies are worried about, quite frankly, is that you're overworking. You are putting so much time and effort into supporting yourself that you're forgetting to play. You're forgetting to be lighthearted. And so, their wish for you today, my dear friend, is that you go outside. They are the mistresses of the outer world, nature. So take a walk today. You might have to bundle up if it's cold in your neighborhood, but watch for signs along the way. There are some oak trees where I live, and there are some acorns that lay on the ground. Pick an acorn up, look at a leaf carefully, soak in the wonder of created beauty, and you will bring a sense of energy to you, a sense of abundance. When you're feeling like you're lacking something, you can be working way too hard. This fairy is dressed in purple. Purple is the color of the divine. Rely on your divine helpers, your guardian angel, and of course, the fairies to balance out your life so that you're not working too hard and not having enough joy and fun. Let's take a look at our third message. What is it the fairies want you to know about receiving love? Let's take a look. The King of Pentacles. See, now I can understand why the fairies wanted to speak to you today. Because yesterday we did a reading about a wealth activation. How do we become more wealthy? There is a beautiful reading that I posted yesterday. You can tune in if you wish, and you can learn about the kinds of wealth available to us. Because, yes, money is one form of wealth, but some people forget that you can be wealthy in love, you can be wealthy in time, you can be wealthy with oxygen. Every time you take a breath, there's a wealth of oxygen waiting for you. So the King of Pentacles today shows me the fairies are very aware of your financial situation. They love you. Kane, I was hoping you would come today because I know you love the fairies. The fairies are very concerned that you realize how loved you are. Sometimes when things aren't going so well or you're feeling out of sorts, you can feel alone and on your own. And the fairies are saying, please, please remember that it is in those times we are shining most brightly. The King of Fairies, so, excuse me, King of Pentacles, there is a breakthrough coming your way when it comes to your finances. However, see these thorns? The king is not afraid of the thorns. The king just makes sure that when he sat down, there were no thorns where he was sitting. But the king understands that in seed time and in harvest, it's all a cycle. And there are some things you cannot see right now that are developing for you. They're not quite ripe. See the berries? They're not quite ripe. So the king says, please relax. Everything is happening as it should be. Your harvest is coming. Check the wealth activation that we did yesterday if you want more information about how the energies are spinning right now. You are highly favored and blessed by divine love, and the fairies really wanted to encourage you. Don't be afraid of the thorns. Don't be afraid of the storms along the way. The more you believe and receive the divine love that's available to you every day, the faster you will see progress in what it is that you're manifesting. Let's take care of our fourth reading today. This is going to be a very short reading because fairies are very tiny, aren't they? Strength. Once again, the dragon visits our imagery today. So the fairies are bringing a connection between dragons that can be scary and fairies, which can be tiny. We have this opposites going on. But fairies are not necessarily well behaved. Can you relate? Fairies can be a little bit naughty. For example, one time I was house sitting for a friend and I laid my cell phone down somewhere in their home. You know how it is. And I couldn't find it. And I walked all over the place and I used my magical technique of saying, why is it so easy to see my phone? This is a technique I learned from a man called Noah St. John. And he said, if you ask the right question, you can manifest an answer quickly. So I was walking around saying this strange question: why is it so easy to find my phone? Trusting I would see it. Well, I walked all over that apartment and she did believe and honor the fairies. I was so frustrated. I went back outside to the porch, and there in plain view was my phone. Now, I had looked there, you guys, I swear to you, for sure. But the fairies were messing with me. I knew it because that phone was appearing where it wasn't there a moment before. Why do the fairies do this to us? Because they don't want us to take life too seriously. When things are bothering you, the fairies are there, fluttering around, trying to draw you into their strength. Imagine a fairy this tiny, imagine it, that could be wanting to serve you in some way. They want to encourage you and to inspire you, but you need to believe. Remember in Peter Pan, I think it was in that story, where Wendy was laying, I haven't thought of this in years, where Wendy is laying there and she won't wake up, and Tinkerbell says, or is it Tinkerbell? Yes, Tinkerbell is just so weak and can't do anything for herself. She's just laying there, and Peter says she needs to know that you believe in fairies, right? So they all started saying, "We believe in fairies. We believe in fairies." And the fairy was lifted back up to their strength. This morning, when I wanted to choose my deck for our readings about divine love, honestly, I felt like the fairies saying, "You have not consulted us one time in 37 readings." And I must say, they were right, because strength comes in tiny little bites sometimes. So, whatever you're facing, trust what you believe. If you believe the fairies are your allies, say it out loud. The fairies are guiding me today, and I know I am loved. Okay, our last card in this itty bitty short reading from the fairies. And I must say, I am not going to ignore the fairies anymore. I have three fairy decks, so there's no reason that I'm not consulting them more often. Let's take a look at our final card for today's reading. Beautiful. The Ace of Wands. Look at those gorgeous mushrooms. Look at them. Do you know that one of the coolest things, well, there's so many cool things about mushrooms, but one of the coolest things is they grow overnight. Sometimes if I only knew where one would be growing, I think part of me would want to sit up all night and just watch the mushroom grow, because I can go walk in my woods and there was no mushroom there yesterday, and there'll be one the size of my hand. Can you imagine? So, Spirit, speaking through the fairies today, wants you to know that if you give up, it's heartbreaking to them, because what we don't see as humans is how quickly something can change. And that's how, if we can stay focused on abundance and gratitude, especially when you're downhearted a little bit, appreciate something. Maybe you're a fairy fan, and being here, hearing the fairy message is exactly what you needed. Is that you? Hit that thumbs up. Join this energy. Understand how very loved you are. Ace of Wands always shows up as a sign that something is coming that you don't see right now. When you plant a seed in the ground, can you see it? No. Do you know that it's growing? Yes. If you plant a seed today, like a kernel of corn, can you eat the corn tomorrow? No. Right? So the seed time of any new manifestation or any new idea is precious and priceless. Is harvest more fun? Well, yes. Is harvest more tangible than seed time? Yes, but once we have the faith that what we've planted will grow, there's a sense of deep relief available to you. Look at the orbs. In this final fairy message of today's message, hold on. Hold on to what you know is true. Again, divine love is true. You may not feel loved by the divine, and my heart goes out to you. I spent many decades completely unconvinced, even though people told me God loves you. Honestly, so many unfortunate things happened. I thought, God was throwing darts at me. I'm not even kidding. I remember 40 years ago when I was going through such a hard time, and I thought, why are you telling me God loves me? So many difficult things are happening. I feel like God is throwing darts trying to hurt me. Today, when I even say those words, I get a little embarrassed because my life has been filled with miracles. Once upon a time, I did not believe in fairies. Once upon a time, I thought it was evil to believe in nature spirits like the fairies. Today, I have a completely different reality, and that's possible for you too. Remember, the fairies love you. So let me line you up with a couple of affirmations that will facilitate you to cross over the bridge and believe that angels, fairies, ancestors, spirit guides are here for you now. Even though I don't know how, I feel the fairies' love right now. Now, I know that may be. Not truthful for you in your current version of life. But when you speak as if something's true, it will transform into real confidence. Even though I don't know how, I feel the love of the fairies right now. Even though I don't know how, I feel loved by the divine right now. Even though I'm not sure I even believe in fairies, I'm opening up my consciousness to allow for it right now. You guys, I love you so much. I apologize to the fairy realm for not including them in the divine love messages. What was I thinking? I will do a long form video coming up real soon where you guys can ask questions of the fairies. Would you like that? Should I come on where I can let you ask questions? Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Let me know. I think my next long form video is going to be all fairy focused. How's that? Go forth and prosper, my dear friends. For more information, if you want for me to do a reading for you, simply go to manifestfaster.com. That is the gateway to line up your personal reading. Love you all. We'll see you soon. And thank you, fairies, for reminding me how powerful and fun you are. Love you guys. Bye now.